too often I get to say hello to you guys from behind the controls of a fair income helicopter up in the air with nothing keeping us up and nothing hanging around and me in control. And James not looking too nervous yet. Now, if you're not one of the faint-hearted, I'm going to show you today how you can get yourself behind the controls of the chopper. And if that's not cool enough, don't go away. Here's what's coming up on the rest of the show. James, what's that red button down there? Oh! Sorry.
Coming up next, I've joined the Rotary Club.
And we're flying. We are flying.
When you spend so many weekends around so many different towns like I do, you get used to paying them a flying visit. But this sort of flying visit, well, I'm here to tell you, this one is a first for me. Looks tiny in there. It's one thing flying into Armidale, but it's another thing crossing the tarmac once you get there. Because today, I'm the one doing the piloting. On that remark, do you trust me? Look at his face. You trust his face to fly a helicopter?
Very fortunately, there's two sets of controls and I have one.
Oh, good.
For that exact reason.
Beautiful, long as your hand's on there. I'm getting ready for a trial introductory helicopter flight, and it's not something to be taken lightly. So you need a crash course in aeronautics. Okay, bad choice of words there. So if we didn't have a tail rotor, the blades would be spinning one way and we'd be spinning the other way, that's it.
We're going to be going in circles.
So this stops us from spinning and makes us up.
Exactly right.
This is a good start because I understand what you're saying. And that's probably for the best because we're getting to the pointy end of preparations. Things are getting very, very real.
All right, Mike, we talked about it in the classroom. I'm just going to show you how the controls work.
Yep.
I'll start with the cyclic, which operates in your right hand.
Well, that doesn't seem overly complicated, really, does it, James? I mean, I'm not trying to spruik or anything like that, but I mean, I've actually got what you're talking about. I've seen it. Yep. It's just doing it for real. Don't laugh.
All there is to it, mate.
I'm laughing at myself. This is actually a nervous laugh. Nervous laugh. But I'm okay. All right. We haven't started the thing yet. Don't stop looking at me. Well, nervous or not, strap yourself in because this is really happening and I'm behind the controls.
Okay, here we go, ready for takeoff. Now we're just going to ease it up into the air. There we go. Just going to check that all the parameters are good, RPM is good, controls are good. And power's good. Just under nose forward now. And we're flying. We are flying. Ah! No, I'm only joking. We're all good in control. So what I'm going to get you to do to start with is we're just going to try and keep the aircraft in balance using our pedals. So nice and level like it is now. I'll tell you what I'm going to hand over. I'm going to keep the other controls and I just want you to keep the aircraft nice and stationary. So I'm handing over pedals to you. Taking over pedals, James. Okay, I'm applying right pedal. You're doing fine here, mate. You're on all controls. It's great. The whole machine's yours.
What an absolute buzz. Pardon the pun. 30 minutes flying time, plenty of experience taking the controls yourself, and just check out Armidale Gorge country, will you? You've never seen the waterfall way like this. But the most spectacular part of the lesson is also the scariest and the most fascinating.
We're going to look at an engine failure. What we'll be doing is simulating it. I'll be... Hang on, James, what do you mean an engine failure? Well, this is what we do if the engine stops. So most people think that a helicopter drops out of the sky if the engine fails. Right, you got your seatbelt on? I've got my seatbelt on very tight. So I'm going to roll off the throttle and shortly, so it's practice auto in 3, 2, 1, enter. So I'm low and collective. And as you can see, we are descending, but I have the ability to try and get us into a little spot if we need to. And what we do now is we flare the aircraft, level the nose, and try and crash as gracefully as we can. Well, that's given me a hell of a lot of confidence knowing, like you said, people think you lose power, the thing's just going to fall out of the sky. Well, you've just proved to me then that's not true. Mate, as long as we react the correct way and put the right actions into place, we've got a reasonable chance of pulling things off nicely.
I've got to say, doing the helicopter thing, mate, was like running a half marathon, but it has left me so hungry today that I could eat the belly out of a low-flying. Armidale is always worth more than a flying visit. Absolutely sensationally beautiful up here. But to learn how to fly in this chopper, part of the stable of beauties that Fleet Helicopters has here has been fantastic. What about this? I turn up this morning by the Arvo, I'm behind the controls, and I am a pilot for a day. Well, an hour anyway. And James, I want to go again. I need to go again. Hope you've enjoyed the show. See you real soon. Pilot Wits on another Sydney Weekender. Righto. Now, what was that button? I'm across it now. What was that button you said to touch?
Mike, I told you not to touch that button, Mike.
Okay.
Don't touch it.
All right. Week, Sally's behind the scenes at Perisher.
To make sure you guys have a great time when you get here.
You dance better than me. You definitely cook better than me.
And Jason faces some stiff competition.
Am I going to bring my wife here again? I don't stand a chance.
And thanks to Sanyong Motors, keeping Sydney Weekender on the move.